This is QualityStocks. Today's Thursday, November 11, 2010, and today we're going to take a look at Mainland Resources. This is a NASDAQ bulletin board company trading their ticker MNLU. This play is going on radar because of some technical reasons, like this divergence right through here. You can see this was up $1.62, dipped all the way down, closed yesterday at 32 cents. 1.2 million shares traded. Was a pretty good volume spike. I'm seeing all these shorter-term moving averages pulling together. This 50-day moving average is kind of coming right into play now, where the price per share is just below that. Looks like it's trying to iron out a little bit of a bottom. What I'm seeing in the indicators, this is a long-term perspective on this. This is it's a 9-month chart. So we're talking about the last 5 months or so. Seeing a nice uptrend in the MACD. What we'll be looking for on that is that break of zero. I want to see if this MACD is going to move through this money line or not. If it does at this point, there's a chance of making a relatively large move. PPO coming off the pinch, same as the MACD. Nice trend back towards zero. This ADX is a little bit of a concern. I don't like the way this negative DI just went to start to turn back up. I do like the fact that both positive and negative DIs are down relatively low, and that the ADX is moving itself into a trading pattern, getting out of a trend. So that can be given hints that this downtrend is losing some steam. So he's got to kind of keep an eye on this. This chart is really meant to be looked at from a long-term perspective and see if these positive divergences with these indicators work out or not. And things like the MACD and the tricks are very good long-term indicators, and they're approaching that zero line, which is often referred to as the money line. So I think it's worth putting on radar for a possible move. You can see that the money flow index is breaking above 50. The 21 is just about ready to. It's at 48.98. So I want to see if that's going to move through 50, if this is going to start trending over that middle barrier. You can see that the accumulation distribution is basically flatlined. You're looking for that to try and come through that area, somewhere into that, and make some new higher highs, break through this little channel that it's in. The Jake and money flow shows that buying pressure has been dominant for the last month and a half or so, and it got a pretty good spike up yesterday. The CCI is also in a bit of an uptrend. We want to see if this is going to break and hold over zero. See, it tried once right through here, gave it a few days worth, and then slipped right back down. Other than that, not much time through the upper end of the CCI. So I want to pay attention to see if that's going to break. Full still bouncing right off of 50 shows that momentum is dying a little bit on this stock. So that, of course, will stay on radar as well to see if it's going to make a turn and move back through 50 or not. You want to see it trading over 50 for a substantial period of time to show some real strength to the uptrend. The tricks combined with the MACD was what caught my eye. Pretty good uptrend towards zero. Still a little ways from it, down at negative 0.5, but the uptrend is pretty solid. We're getting a bullish cross at this point. The signal line's kind of flattening out, and that's a bit of a concern as well, kind of like the still trying to flatten out. So it's going to stay on watch to see if this is going to start to break through this downtrend and come back down into here. If it does, it's probably going to fall off the radar chart and see if it wants to set back up in a different way. But if it doesn't continue this move towards zero, be looking for that break of the zero barrier, because that adds a lot of strength to the overall stock play. The RSIs are trying to get a little bit of an uptrend to them. You see even the longer term, the 14 and 21 are starting to get a little bit of an uptrend. As with so many other indicators, hate to beat a dead horse, but you want to see it over 50. It just makes for a much more bullish chart. And you can see, once again, difficult time moving above that area, even with this spike off of the pinch back here in June, where it got a nice bounce from 50 cents up to near 90 cents. The 7 made the move, but the 14 and 21 still couldn't fight their way through that middle barrier. So we have to keep an eye on that and see if this is going to make the climb this time, or if it's once again going to bounce off of it and head down. As far as the candles go, I want to see this bottom support would have to hold at 27.5 cents, but I'd really much rather see if it wants to hold 30. It can go maybe a hair below that, 29 perhaps. If it dips down to 27, there's a chance that some of these indicators are going to break these trends, and they're going to taper off a little bit more. So for it trying to make this little bit of a climb that it has, this is on watch for me to make a move forward at this point and try and break through this 50-day moving average. You can see it hasn't been above that, except for way earlier on in the year since this slide has begun. I want to see if this is going to iron out this bottom and start to make a reversal and start to make a climb. So that bottom support has to hold. These moving averages want to stay tucked up underneath it and start to uptrend a little bit. I want to see it challenge that 50-day. The resistance is pretty strong right there in front of it, right where it is. See, it closed at 32. That's about where resistance is pretty strong. It's going to see some more heavy resistance at 36, right through there. And that's going to be a key point. If it can make it through this first resistance, climb over this 50-day, and then make a climb over top of this, there's a pretty good chance that this has found a bottom and is going to start rolling in the north direction. That little volume spike caught my eye yesterday. That's the reason it came up in a scan, because of the increased volume. And then when I took a look at it and saw these positive divergences that are going on with some of the long-term indicators, I thought it'd be an appropriate chart to put on radar and see if it's going to make a move. As always, this video chart is merely my interpretation. This is Andy with QualityStocks. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.